Have you ever heard someone reviewing a motorcycle and they say that the transmission on it is clunky? Well, every motorcycle shifts differently. I've got a couple in the background, Road King in the distance, my XSR 900 in the foreground, and they both shift differently. But there's one technique that you can use to make every shift on a motorcycle smoother, whether you're upshifting or downshifting, and to shift a little bit quicker as well. This week on MCrider, we'll talk about that technique. Hi, my name's Kevin. I'm the host here at MCrider, where I release a weekly video every Friday morning on motorcycle skills or road strategy to help make you a better rider. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, you'll get notifications of every new video that we release. So I guess for lack of a better way of describing it, clunky may describe that transmission on the Harley. It's notchy. You can feel it whenever it shifts through the gears, much more so than you can on the Yamaha, which is one of the smoother transmissions of any bike that I've ever ridden with. Well, now remember, when we shift gears, we'll do a quick review for our brand new riders. I'm going down the road, I'm in first gear, I'm ready to shift into second gear. I'm going to roll off the throttle as I squeeze in the clutch. I'll click up or down, whether you're upshifting or downshifting, firmly on the shift lever with my left foot, going into second gear, back down to first, whatever gear you're shifting into. Then you ease back out on the clutch as you roll on the throttle. So the technique I want to teach you this week is going to help make that shift a whole lot smoother for you. So everything else functions the same. I'll roll off the throttle, I'll squeeze in the clutch, but prior to doing that, so if I'm in first gear and I'm going to shift up into second gear, if this is my shift lever, I'm going to get my foot just under that shift lever and I'm going to apply a little pressure. It's called preloading the shifter. So I'm applying a little bit of pressure to that shift lever, and then when I squeeze that clutch in as I roll off the throttle, the bike is going to almost magically shift up into second gear. It'll catch you by surprise the first few times you do it. You just add a little bit of preload to it, and as soon as you squeeze in the clutch, the bike's going to pop up into that next gear. It's easier for me to get a feel for it upshifting than it is downshifting, but you can use the same technique downshifting by applying a little bit of pressure on top of the shifter. But to be honest, I use it a whole lot more upshifting than I ever do downshifting. But apply a little bit of pressure. As soon as you squeeze that clutch in, the bike will just pop up magically into that next gear. So as you get a feel for this out on the road, what it allows you to do is shift much quicker, and you don't have to squeeze all the way in on the clutch. So once you get a feel for it, you're just rolling off the throttle and you're just barely manipulating the clutch. And because you've got that shift lever preloaded, it's going to pop up into that next gear, and you can get back out on the clutch and on the throttle and increase your speed much quicker and smoother once you get a feel for it. So let's get out of the garage, we'll get on the Road King, and I'll show you what this looks like out on the road. Remember when you were first learning to ride and shifting gears was a very deliberate process. Roll off the throttle, squeeze in the clutch, click up on the shift lever, ease back out on the clutch as you're rolling back on the throttle. In fact, it was so deliberate that a lot of times you'd notice that the bike was slowing down because of the time it would take for you to get from one gear to the next. Well, by preloading the shifter, you can reduce the time that it takes to shift gears. You can make the bike shift a whole lot smoother, and you can get up to speed a whole lot quicker out on the road as well. So let's take a look at what I'm doing with the clutch hand and the shifter. As I preload that shifter, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on it, not enough to cause it to shift on its own, but putting a little bit of pressure on it or taking up that slack. And as soon as I squeeze the clutch in, you'll notice that the bike shifts gears. Just watch that sequence again and we'll stop it at points and I'll describe what I'm doing here. So I'm in first gear and I'm getting ready to shift into second gear, but before I roll off the throttle or squeeze in the clutch, I'm preloading that shifter, or I'm taking the slack up in that shifter by weighting it a little bit with my foot. Notice once I squeeze the clutch in and I roll off the throttle, how the shifter just shifts very naturally and quickly up into second gear. Notice that I don't really have to squeeze the clutch all the way in either. It just takes minimal movement with that clutch and rolling off the throttle for the bike to shift into gear. The less time you spend with the clutch squeezed in and rolling off the throttle, the quicker and smoother you can get up to speed out on the roadway. Is this a technique that you're already using when you ride? If not, you may want to try it next time you get out on the street and see if it doesn't allow you to shift smoother and quicker. Till next week, guys, this is Kevin with MCrider, and we'll see you on the road.
Everything all right? Good. You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Say what's up to the horses. Have a good day, man.
Yeah, take care.
We got a bunch of new users last week. I'm still waiting on you. You know, all you have to do is sign up through YouTube or Patreon. You'll become a member. You'll get access to this forum. You'll get access to the field guide. It's got all of these exercises on it. You can be out there training right now with the MCrider field guide, or looking at some of the expert opinions from our vast array of other riders from all over the world who are here to help provide feedback. Might even make a friend or two. Waiting on you to sign up. I'll just sit right here until you do.